Welcome back, race fans. I'm Tom Spanners Watson.
And I'm Frank the Guru Gibbs.
And welcome to the Canyon Outlaws Truck Takedown.
Which is basically my interpretation of the original Fast and Furious films where the cars used to take on the truck drivers.
So let's have a look how the points work.
So the name of the game is to take the truck down. If you can, that's 1,000 points.
And that doesn't mean that you have to actually knock it over. You can just stall it from getting to the finish line. You still pick up the 1,000.
On top of that, every car that finishes ahead of the truck gets 250 points.
And I feel like you're going to need every single one of those points as well.
Well, especially because if the truck finishes first, you lose 500 points. And then for every car that finishes after the truck, you only get 25 points.
And the only person crazy enough to take on the driving duties in that petrol tanker is Stuntman Sam.
You know, when Sam's around, it's going to be a good time.
So the Wannabes are grouped in teams of 4. First up, team number 1, the Jesters.
This team's made up of Full Monty, the Goomba, Impalinator 2, and up front is Longhorn.
So one car must start behind the truck, the other start on the outside lane. How's it going to go? Longhorn taking on the truck to begin with. He gets spun around. The truck pushes him out of the way. Stuntman Sam is not here to muck around.
Sam's a friendly guy and all, unless he's behind the wheel. You really got to watch out. But he is running away with this.
And unless Sam loses control and crashes, it's going to be a complete down trail for the Jesters.
These boys are going to need as many points as they can get, and they managed to get 3 drivers across the finish line, so they pull back 75 points. But Longhorn gave it a good crack up the top there. But unfortunately, the rest of the team were just on their own tour. Mike Esco in there and Full Monty obviously decided to just pull up for a bogan burger.
They are delicious.
But thankfully, the rest of his team was a little bit more professional and at least made it across the finish line so they get some points on the board.
So not a great showing from the first team, minus 425 points. I'm hoping to see a lot better scores than that tonight.
I'm not going to lie, this is definitely a tough ask of all of these drivers, but they all want to be outlaws, so it's time to put their money where their mouth is.
So the Jesters, first one on the board. Can team number 2, Death Rabbits, do any better?
So here we've got Maverick, Resurrection, Toxic, and of course, Mustang.
So Toxic on the rear guard, Mustang in the front. Next to him is Resurrection, and following up behind is Maverick. They get underway, and Mustang making a good break here. Resurrection tucks into second place, so they start to put a block on the truck. This is a great move here from this team. Mustang racing away. He's going to finish early, pick up 250 points. Resurrection trying to stop Sam, but Sam nails him and gets a drift through Big Kahuna Corner and takes the second position. They're the only ones to finish.
So Death Rabbits had a great strategy here. Get someone down to the finish line quickly and let the other drivers put the block on the truck. Now Resurrection did an awesome job here. He really tried to hold Stuntman Sam out.
That was incredibly brave by Damo.
Oh, defo, mate, defo. Here we see it. Resurrection coming in, tries to block the line, but Sam just nails him from behind. And look at this drift that Sam gets in that truck. I don't even think that was possible with a petrol tanker.
That is definitely something I've never seen before.
But Glitch in Mustang there picks up a very valuable 250 points, and it's unfortunate nobody else finishes because the truck takes away 500 points, so they're left with a negative 250, but that will put them into the lead. Congratulations, Death Rabbits.
Classic Frisky Dingo reference there. Hey, if you like our racing, you might enjoy seeing behind the scenes as well. See how we make tracks, how we test them, all sorts of really cool stuff. Check out the link in the description and sign up to a membership today. So Team Death Rabbits now leading the charge with minus 250 points. I'm still hoping that we'll get somebody into the positives. Will it be Team Oldies?
Well, you've got Old Dirty, Old Gnarly, Bandit, and Hat Trick. All these boys like to play rough, and that could work out in a truck takedown competition.
So Old Dirty in the tail, gonna JB and Hattrick up front. Looks like he's gonna take the Mustang line and jump out early, but unfortunately his team's getting left behind there.
JB better watch out, here comes Sam.
JB trying to slow everybody down here, but Stuntman Sam pulls around him. A very tight overtake there from Stuntman Sam. JB having another go, trying to get ahead, but he can't quite do it. But will we get all 4 cars across the finish line? Yes, we do eventually.
Mad props to JB trying to take on that speeding tanker all by himself and then having a crack right at the end to get around it, but he just couldn't quite manage it. But at least all 4 cars finished, so they will clock up some points, even though they'll stay in the negatives.
Well, the scores from this week and next week will be added together, so it's going to be vitally important to get as many as you can on the board. Oldies only managing to get minus 400, which is not a great start, but at least they managed to get something.
So that means Death Rabbits hold on to the number 1 spot with minus 250 points.
And just like the Highlander, there can be only one. All right, next up, team number 4 is the In-Laws. This is the last of the Wannabes.
And here we got Your Mum up front, Slimer on a rear bumper, Highwayman in the back, and following the truck is Wildfire.
I'm not sure Your Mum would have been the best choice out front, but there goes Big Mike. He's doing a great job. Slimer trying to slow the truck down, almost gets it completely sideways, and look at the moves these guys are putting on the truck.
That is some brilliant blocking going on. Slimer doing everything he could there. But you've got to work pretty hard to take down Stuntman Sam. He's a professional driver after all. But all 4 drivers crossed the line and Your Mum absolutely smoked the field with an incredible 13.256 time. That's her fastest time on the track yet.
Well, congratulations, Big Mike. And what a job here from these other drivers. Slimer doing everything he could. Unfortunately, Wildfire came in there and just nudged the truck. I think he was trying to take out the rear wheels, but unfortunately it worked the opposite way and gave him a speed boost. And look at Big Mike coming in with a massive barrel roll over the finish line to celebrate that incredible time.
Well, what an impressive showing there from the In-Laws. A minus 175 points. That's the best score so far tonight. So they're going to take down Death Rabbits and move into the number 1 spot. Well done, Blade.
Well, the competition gets a lot tougher for the Outlaws because they only get 2 cars to take down the truck.
And Team Dirty Mouse is made up of Dagger Rose driving Dirty D and Summer Pan driving Mrs. Mouse. Mrs. Mouse takes the lead, Dirty D in behind. What are they going to be able to do against that truck?
It's definitely a big ask, but if they can both get ahead of the truck and take the points, then it'll at least be a 0. Oh, a massive accident there. The truck goes sideways, but Dirty D nails the truck and gets it going again. That is unfortunate. Mrs. Mouse sacrificed herself. Put an absolute block on the truck. The truck went sideways. It looked like it was going to stall out. All Dirty D had to do was actually stop, but unfortunately, she got the truck going again.
This was an insanely brave move here from Mrs. Mouse. Look at this, just threw herself into the truck. The truck goes sideways, the cab was stuck, and it really looked like they were going to pick up the 1,000 points there, but Dirty D will pick up 250 points. The truck takes away 500, so Team Dirty Mouse ends up minus 250 points. That's not enough to get them into first place, but they are going to be important points for next week.
So it's definitely harder with only 2 cars. You've really got to get that block on early, and then you've got to make a run for the finish line. Next up, we've got Team Rathawk. This is Daddy G driving Ratbird up against RTO Flyer driving Nighthawk.
Daddy G opted for the tail gunner's position here. Nighthawk's going to have to make a run for the front and try and either slow the truck down or take it out or possibly just make a run for the finish line to pick up the 250 points, and that looks like what he's going to do.
And here comes Daddy G making a run for the back of the truck, tries to go up the inside, decides against it, tries it again, coming into Big Kahuna corner. Nighthawk goes sideways, but Stuntman Sam sees it coming and manages to navigate around, but both drivers will cross the finish line for 50 points.
Another stunning sacrificial move here. Nighthawk threw his car sideways, tried everything he could to block the track to allow Daddy G to catch up, but unfortunately that big rig just has way too much mass behind it, took him down, and Ratbird there getting a barrel roll over the finish line as well.
Well, I had high hopes for Team Rathawk, but unfortunately at minus 450 points, that puts them a long way back.
Yeah, so far that puts them at the bottom of the pack, which is really unfortunate, but it is always going to be tough for the Outlaws, but congratulations to the In-Laws. They are still holding on to the number 1 spot with minus 175 points.
All right, next up, team number 7, Big Baby. We got Big Mac driving Vagabond and Baby Cookie driving Curbside.
I'm not sure I would have put the flame so close to the petrol tanker, but that's just me. I'm all about safety.
Well, first up, no, you're not about safety, and second of all, they're only painted on. It's fine.
What do you mean? When am I ever unsafe?
Every single time you go on the track or you come up with an idea, somebody gets hurt. How is that safe?
Oh no, I didn't mean other people. I meant I'm safe, like me.
Oh, that sounds right. Disappointing run there from Curbside and Vagabond, unable to take down the truck, and they could barely keep up. Stuntman Sam had the hammer down.
I was definitely expecting a bit more from both of those drivers, but unfortunately, minus 450 points, that puts them back with the other Outlaws. The Outlaws are going to have a tough ask next week. But if you're on the top 10 list, you've got to be quick and you've got to know what you're doing, and this is their chance to prove it.
So the In-Laws hold on to the number 1 spot, minus 175 points. Will we get a better showing out of the Beautiful team?
Well, Mr. Dark and Diabolical and Hawthorne Sung driving Munted, I got to back these two because these boys play rough.
Well, we're about to find out as they get underway. Mr. Dark right on the tail of the tanker. Munted gets up the inside, tries to turn the tanker sideways, but Stuntman Sam holds onto it cleanly. As they go past the Screw That billboard, the truck starts to pull away. Both drivers coming up behind, but Munted pulls across into Diabolical. I'm not sure what Hawthorne Sung was doing. He's trying to take the truck down, not the other racer.
I think that's just a reflex, mate. He sees somebody trying to overtake him and he just jumps jumps on them, but they really got to work together if they're going to take down a big rig like this.
Yeah, I thought they were going to be able to pull some sort of maneuver here, but Munter just pulls right across and slams Mr. Dark into the sidewall, and unfortunately that was basically the end of their race there. They do pick up 25 points apiece, and they will be stuck at the back at minus 450 points as well. That is disappointing.
I definitely had high hopes for those boys. Maybe they should have followed Team Dirty Mouse's plan and just gone hard out to try and win the race rather than worry about taking down the truck, because they just don't seem up to it.
Final team of the night, Team Rubber Charm. It's Rubber Toe driving the Baroness, and he's up with Kit KM driving the Charm.
Kit bashed and crashed his way to the top of the list, so I'm expecting some rough driving from him, and Rubber Toe's not afraid to mix it up as well.
I don't know, maybe they should just make a run for the front. Rubber Toe gets into the side of the truck, he gets the cab sideways, and both drivers slip past. Both drivers now making a run to the finish line. It looks like they've stalled the truck out completely. This is an epic run from these two drivers.
Go boys, go, and that's why they're at the top of the list. Look at that.
Well, just in case you didn't think it was possible, these two prove it absolutely is with a perfect run. Rubber Toe with a brilliant drive here. Look at the way he controls the truck. Sam did everything he could to try and pull the truck around. Kit came with a stunning move, slips between the truck and the sidewall. That could have easily got the truck going again, but both of those drivers proving why they are at the top of the list and maxing out with a whopping 1,500 points. That is incredible.
I bet there are a bunch of viewers out there thinking there's no way these cars can take down a truck. This is a stupid idea. But it's my idea, and that's never stupid, and those boys just proved it. That's why you have the top drivers in a top level competition, proving how tough they actually are.
Well, hopefully you've enjoyed tonight, and you're going to tune in for round number 2 next week. It's going to be even more explosive.
Oh, sweet. Did our demolitions license come in? Can we use explosives?
Whoa there, buddy. No, not at all, Frank. No actual explosives. It's just an expression.
But one day soon, right? You've got to let me blow something up, please.
The only thing you're likely to blow up is yourself, so I think that's a bad idea. Alright, thanks very much for watching. I'm Tom Spanners Watson. He's Frank the Guru Gibbs. We look forward to seeing you next time.